What's going on, YouTube? Are you having a tough time surviving this seasonal wipe? I'm going to give you a few gun builds to help you out. All these gun builds are going to be level 1 and 2 traders. And I'll give you a few tips along the way, man. Let's check it out. If you're new to Tarkov, man, the best part about each gun isn't actually the attachments at all or the gun itself. It's what you're shooting out of it to give you the best chance of survivability in this game. You don't have a lot of access to any good high pen ammos, but they did make some few changes this seasonal, and they are very key and important to survivability. Some new additions here is the 7.62x39 T45. All right, mid-level penetration, not the best, but not the worst. Better than what it used to be at level 1. You can get it at level 1 prepper, and do recommend that. Not too bad, not too bad. It'll pen through all level 3 face shields. Another option for the 3.66 caliber is the EKO. All right, very similar in the penetration. It also has reduced recoil. Okay, these are all level 1 traders. Those would be the bullets I would be running and calibers I'd be running if you're looking for some pen rounds, other than the ones that you start with that they give you right off the rip. You really don't get a lot of options at tier 1 traders. You can always dibble dabble in the fence, see what he's always offering if you really want to try to get something, but you really don't get much if you really want to get expensive. With that, it's much better than what it used to be in the past. Some of the best gun builds in the game. They also added some new presets directly from the traders themselves. Okay, so this AK here from Prapper level 1, just buy it straight up. Very good, very good. You can make a little bit of adjustments, put your own sight on it. That's a good start. Prapper also sells this PP19. That's also very good if you weren't aware. And then PK sells these 2 weapons now at level 1. Very good options, very good options. You can make minor changes to however you want, or if you find any attachments in raid. Very good place to start. Another thing I really want to point out, Skier sells this new ADAR. All right, I had a couple buddies not even realize they added this to Skier. This is straight from Skier, an amazing build. What I like to do with this one is take all the ADAR attachments. They're actually completely compatible with your M4s. All right, so if you start with USEC, all right, you take this ADAR, take the attachments right off, just like this. All right, you can literally stick it right on the M4 and bing, bang, bongo, baby. You got a nice, juicy M4. That's money. That's money, dude. Put that shit on a cracker. And now we get into the actual builds themselves, all right? Those were all preset that you can buy directly from level 1 traders. Gloss around and check them out, all right? All good options. Now, these are the money makers, baby. I'm telling you. Watch out. This is probably the best build, big bang build for your buck. This OPSKS shooting the T45 ammo, very good option. You can either build it for long range with this PSO scope, or you can take the PSO scope off and put it on the Cobra sight for closer engagements. Very good recoil control, and it's shooting pretty solid ammo, man. This T45 ammo really isn't that bad, man. Please don't sleep on it. Please don't sleep on it. I'm talking for level 1 traders, all right? I'm not talking no meta shit. You're not going to get a lot of good high pen rounds at level 1 traders. All right, I'm just trying to help out some of the standards and some of the other guys that don't have a lot of access to Icebreaker quite yet. Another option for that T45 round in the 7.62x39 caliber is this VPO. All right, this VPO isn't too bad if you want to shoot that T45. It's a little bouncy, so you would actually build it. This is the best build you can do for that. So if you actually are going to run the VPO, I would recommend the 3.66 caliber, because the bullet itself actually does more health damage, and it has the recoil reduction with an increased bleed chance. Now, with everyone with, I don't want you guys to sleep on flesh rounds, okay? There's a lot of new achievements for seasonal, and they include selecting the negative modifiers, all right? There's a lot of people out there that are running the negative modifiers that make you bleed more, all right? So these flesh rounds that cause extra bleeding could be the difference in some of your fights, especially at the low levels, man. I know you'll run into some geared guys already. This guide is a little late. I think we're about 10 days late, so you will run into some guys with some armor. You won't always, but these flesh rounds are also good options to take out their legs, extra bleeding, right? It could be the difference. So that VPO, I wouldn't run that in the 7.62 caliber. I'd probably run that in 3.6 with the EKO, okay? Not the best build. It's got a little bounce to it, but this is the best you can do at level 1, all right? Now, for any of your M4s, if you don't go that ADAR route, it is a little pricey. All right, it is a little pricey. but this here is a very good substitute. All right, I better not be seeing nobody running no bare stock ass M4 with that fucking iron sight. All right, I don't want to see a single one of those on the map. Fuck that. Buy this shit, nice and easy peasy, lemon squeezy. I promise you'll have much better raids. All right, obviously the sight is preference. You can always change out your sights however you want, but this is all available at level 1 traders. This build right here, very good build. Unfortunately, M855 is gonna be your best one. You can't buy good 5.56 ammos level 1. There really isn't a good option. All right, you can buy whatever. You can buy the M856 or the RRLP. Both are dog shit. Run the M4s. If you go USEC, you spawn with a bunch of M855. Run that. And if you need to find good 5.56 ammo, all right, I recommend Streets. All right, if you hit some filing cabinets, there's 4 keys you're looking for on Streets. All right, you want Container, you want Armory, you want Concordia Security, and MVD. All right, use those 4 keys. Farm yourself some 5.56. You'll also run into Black Division there as well. Those will always give you a lot of 5.56 with those guys spontaneously, so be careful there. That's where you're gonna get your good 5.56. There really isn't any from level 1 traders, but you take that shit to Streets, run that. And then for your 5.45 caliber, your best bet is probably this AK-74U. All right, this is pretty basic. This has been around for a little bit. All right, this is your best bang for your buck. If you want to get good 5.45 ammo, you got to go to reserve. All right, unlock reserve as soon as you can. There's a shit ton everywhere. All right, if you guys want to figure out a good 5.45 farming guide, I'll make sure to get a guide out. You can check that out as well. If you guys haven't noticed, man, we're pretty new to this shit. All right, so if you guys are enjoying this, if this is helping you out at all, please consider subscribing, liking. It's free. Follow me anywhere. We also stream Tuesday through Sundays in the AM. All right, check us out sometime, man. A lot better at that streaming shit than this YouTube shit. All right, I'm brand new to this. Sorry if this is cooked. All right, try my best. Your support is appreciated, man. Thank you so much. Now we'll go into level 2 traders. All right, this is where we really get some good stuff. All right, now I'm over on my standard account, man. If you guys didn't know, we play standard. All negative modifiers. We're built different on the app. We are out to prove that big pockets ain't pay to win, because I'll still shit on you. All right, let's ride. Now, with level 2 traders, man, there's a big upgrade in the flesh calibers. All right, I told you earlier, don't sleep on the flesh rounds, man. They are kind of potent, especially now that we're kind of delayed or this is kind of a late guide. All right, we're already a few days into wipe, and some people are already geared. There's multiple ways to farm good gear. All right, there is Black Division on a lot of maps. There is Icebreaker, and there is high boss spawn rates, and there's Labyrinth. All right, so there's a lot of geared players running around, and you're like, oh, how are these no lives getting all this good gear? You know, all right, you can do it too. I promise, casual, you can do it. All right, but a good way to counter all them thick, juicy boys, Chad boys, all right, is with flush rounds. So SP7 Keter, undeniable, unbeatable, baby, the OG. All right, you can get that Keter at Prapper 2. Fresh out with the suppressor. Fuck the loud one. All right, if you run the loud one, there's something wrong with you. Run the suppressed one. So it's the Keter go brr. All right, Keter go brr. It's very straightforward. All right, SP7 level 2 Prapper. Now with 5.56, I told you there really isn't a good high pen round. So unless you farm on Black Division or on Streets, you're gonna have to go the flesh route, I think, because running that mediocre low pen poo is not it. All right, but with Peacekeeper 2. Now, a new change is you get War Mage at Peacekeeper 2, man. Don't sleep on this, all right? You get a little bit more recoil, but it actually is a pretty good high damage flesh round with high chances of bleeding. So going back to those negative modifiers, man, there's a lot of those chuds. They're going for achievements, all right? They have the negative modifiers, I promise, all right? So if you want an advantage to this, you run the 5.56 War Mage. It's not that bad, I promise. You just got to aim for legs, all right? It's either face or legs. Like when you're in your engagement, aim for the legs. And if someone's holding a corner, all right, and their legs aren't exposed, you're gonna have to rearrange. You're gonna have to reroute. All right, it's a better word. Reroute, get a different angle, expose the legs, make them swing, throw a nade, maybe use utility, whatever. If you want some more fighting guides, I could do that too. We'll work on it. Again, I'm new to this shit, so all your support is very appreciative. Comment down below what you would like to see. I could use all the ideas. Anything that help you guys out, man. I'm looking out for the standards, all right? I game standard. I intentionally make it hard for me. I got the alpha booty, all right? If you are standard gaming, tell me what you want me to do to help you, because I promise I can do it. I got organization. I'm the mid-max king, all right? A lot of things, all right? So comment down below, like the video. It'd be very appreciated. Okay, now 9 mil Equipment's dog shit, all right? If you get PvP, don't run it, all right? People got good armor, all right? Don't go the pen route with 9mm. If you're gonna go 9mm, man, get Rip. Unfortunately, we can't get Rip at level 2 traders, all right? So a good option is this Luger. This Luger isn't bad. Again, we have the high bleed chance and a good damage number here, all right? So again, aim for legs with the 9mm. And the old trusty Jaeger 2 Piranha, all right? We're gonna have a good shotgun build. You put this Piranha in the shotgun build with the 7 magazine chambered and just let that bitch go. Boom, 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 boom. All right, there it doesn't really matter, man. You can shoot him in the face, shoot him in the arms, right? The shrapnel, it does this duty, all right? But just unload on a motherfucker, all right? I promise. So with that, oh, I forgot. Look at this. I'm telling you, I play standard. Look at that. Look at my little booty. I do that. Look at my little stash. Y'all fucking pay to pockets. That's all it is. It ain't no pay to win, and I'll shit on you. Y'all got the convenience, man. It's pay for convenience. All right, so those are the rounds I wanted to point out. Oh, also you get Ultranauts at level 1 traders. The only thing with Ultranauts is that you can't get a gun that shoots 7.62x51, except for the Vepr Hunter, which, you know, I didn't put that in this video today, but you could do that. But with the 10 rounds in semi-auto, it's probably not a good option to aim for flesh. When you're doing flesh, you want something that's automatic high fire rate and just unload on the legs, okay? Get that blacked limb multiplier going, whatever. But this is a good option if you can get a gun. If you want to try to find a gun that shoots 7.62x51, I would try to recommend from Fence. Try to hunt for like a full auto SA98 or RFB even. Like even an RFB, you can still get a bigger caliber, but like, or a bigger magazine would be my issue. There really isn't a good option. I did want to point it out though, because it is a good round for early wipe Tarkov. Okay, there's just not a gun you can use. So level 2 traders, man, you can really start getting some good attachments. There's very good underrated attachments, and you can get some good solid builds, man. So 545 is literally going to be your best friend, man, at a higher survivor rate. There is an abundance amount of it, all right? Whether it's streets, you can farm 545 on streets with those same keys I mentioned about the 556, or you can go to reserve, all right, and get a shit ton there. Just loosely, you loot the buildings or stuff. Check out the guide for that. You can get some serious caliber, serious penetration bullets to help you out with 545 build. Now, this build is your best recoil and ergo combination, except for the stock. All right, if you really want to get one more recoil, vertical recoil, then you would go the CTR stock. But they added a new stock this go around, and I think it looks drippy. All right, you get a little FTE colorway going, looking nice. Throw a little trooper armor on, get the little drip going. Drip or drown, baby, drip or drown. Throw that on. Also, this MRO sight is very underrated, very good. It's a little bulky on the edges, but it's a nice clean, there it is. I didn't know I could show it. Nice clean little red dot right in the middle. All right, very underrated sight. Works very well with night vision as well. If you also want to boost your survivability, man, run these guns at night and just make sure you get night vision too. Don't run them raw. There's a lot of that. Another thing with this build here is it also goes with the 7.62 AKMs. Okay, all the AK variants, you get a lot of these same attachments at level 2 PK and level 2 prepper. All right, this is gonna be your best bang for your buck right here, man. I promise you. A little light on it. This is my baby. All right, and it's drippy. It's drippy. This is gonna put some chads down, I promise. You just gotta farm some ammo. Had to change the camera angle a little bit and realized I was covering up half the fucking build. But those AK builds, man, there's no muzzle device you can even buy unless you find one, right? Suppressor or whatever. Like, man, bing bang, bing bang. Okay, but this here is the new UMP attachments. All right, they got some new sick attachments. Very good ergo, low magazine capacity. Not my favorite gun, but very good build that you can buy at all level 2. All level 2 right here. Okay, now if you're gonna run the 45, fuck the pen. Don't run the pen. All right, run the Hydro Shock. I didn't realize they added this to PK2, man. This right here, oh man, oh my god, 30% heavy bleeding. Holy shit, I just realized as I was doing this is fire. I'm gonna buy some right now. Oh my god, add this to the flesh round fucking meta. That is gonna hurt. All right, 30% heavy chance bleed with a 100 pen. Again, it's gonna be really low magazine size. They're only gonna be 25 a pop on that UMP, but it's gonna be very low recoil, It's also gonna be a little slower on the fire rate too, so you might have to, you know, peek and wiggle. All right, but make sure you're aiming for legs, and that's gonna be your money maker. This is a really good round, really good flush round, man. Now the next gun we're gonna do is the OG shotgun. All right, this is the 153, man. Super duper cheap. All right, if you're running low on funds, man, hit up the Jaeger, buy those Piranha rounds. Okay, build this shotgun and you better empty that mag on a motherfucker. All right, do is what I'm talking about. You hear me? All right, get up nice close personal and unload on him, and they will drop. I promise. Doesn't matter how kitted they are. All right, with the shrapnel, it disperses into multiple limbs and it fucking hurts. All right, obviously if you have flechette or some slugs, man, you could go that route too, but you can only buy Piranha. I'm only sticking with the stuff you can buy directly from level 2 traders. Okay, so this is my old trusty shotgun. If you're doing setup or whatever, this is your money maker. All right, and that'll do it for the best gun builds that I've been using this seasonal wipe, man. I hope I brought some value. I hope I can help you guys build some of these guns, man. I know the UI for building guns are very overwhelming for newer players, but once you get it down, man, you can make these builds nice and easy peasy. All right, you can just buy them all, equip them all, just like that, run some more raids, man. Okay, if you made it this far in the video, man, I love you. All right, this is my first kind of guide thing I've done. This is very new to me, if you couldn't tell. If you got any tips or anything you want to see in the future, man, make sure you comment below. But I hope to see you around, man. I'm hoping to put out more videos like this. If you guys want to see more of me, man, I stream over on Twitch Tuesday through Sunday, man, 8 a.m. to about noon Central Standard Time. Okay, I hope to see you there. Thank you again for watching the video. I hope I could help out. All right, fuck the red flannel gang, blue drip gang, standard gang. Good luck out there, man.